Okay, gentlemen, you both received my instructions in the dressing room. You know exactly what I expect. A good, hard, clean championship fight. Obey my commands. Protect yourself at all times. Touch them up. Good luck to both of you.
You grow from every fight, and he's gonna grow from this one. I love the fact he's aiming for the body right now. You don't want to aim to the taller target, punching up so early. Aim at the midsection, break the taller man in half.
A slip, obviously, there for Bell.
Stop with the bell!
And that'll do it for the first round.
Listen, man, this goes beyond the beard and playing, games like that. These guys share the same religious belief.
The class stayed deeply divided over the case. Some believed Dudley and Stevens deserved compassion because they were caught in an extreme fight for survival with no easy choices. They felt that severe starvation pushed them into a heartbreaking situation where sacrificing one life seemed like the only way to save the others. In their view, staying alive became the most important goal, making the crew's actions shocking but understandable given the desperate circumstances.
They have the same faith. They're friends outside the ring, but inside the ring, it's all about boxing. And I love the fact that happened. Not in this instance.
Turn around. Be careful, guys. Be careful.
They know each other very well, sparred several times. Mason trying to get physical. These punches just aren't quite finding their mark.
He's loading up too much, is Abdullah Mason right now. Should go concentrate on speed and combinations. Don't load up on any shots and don't try to head on. You're not going to catch nothing upstairs right now.
And remember, even though
Others completely disagreed with that opinion. They believed that no situation, no matter how desperate, could ever justify intentionally killing an innocent person. In their view, the moment someone decides another person's life matters less than their own, they break a moral boundary that should never be crossed. They insisted that every human life has equal value and should never be treated as something to be sacrificed simply because circumstances become extremely difficult.
Bell is taller, it's Mason who actually has the longer reach.
I got it.
Sergio, earlier we talked about fighters who needed to not box and just turn this into a fight. It seems like Mason can't turn this into a fight. He's got to box.
Yeah, because he's worried about the right hand of Bell. Look, he's controlling the young champion just with one hand, just keeping it cocked. Because every time he comes in, the right hand's going right down the pipe. There it is, right there. That's keeping Mason in check.
A couple body shots, haven't seen a ton of those, and there's the numbers Chris Mannix was referring to. Sergio, do you have it 4-0? That's a nice combination there from Bell.
3-1 at worst, but yes, I have Bell in control. Boxing nicely, has the young champion check right now.
Mason trying to dig downstairs to the body. That's never a bad idea.
Right now, that should be the only idea by Mason. He should be throwing straight shots, backing him up, and then throwing hooks around the elbows.
The discussion then turned to the issue of consent. Some students questioned whether the situation would have been morally different if Richard Parker had willingly chosen to give up his life to save the others. They wondered if a voluntary decision like that would reduce or even remove the moral responsibility. However, others disagreed, arguing that real consent cannot exist in a life or death situation because the extreme pressure leaves a person with no true freedom to make a genuine choice. Interview? Another idea was to hold a fair lottery before deciding who would die. Those who supported this believed that a random choice would treat everyone equally by giving each person the same chance.
Keeping them in check with short punches. I mean, they're coming from everywhere. You can see that Mason has respect for the punches that are being thrown at him.
Look how Bell just has his breathing controlled, Sergio. It's just a walk in the park where Mason's constantly moving, being jittery, burning up energy.
Mason may be the champion, but the old lion is definitely Albert Bell. And he manages the time. This is another thing that he does well. You know, he fights like an older fighter, patience. And it slows down the clock, slows down the rhythm, doesn't let the younger fighter get overeager.
Mason get out of character sometimes and to get reckless and impatient. And that's where Bell take advantage of it. And he knows where he's going to be at it, when he's going to be there.
Good body shot on the inside from Bell, and then Mason lands a couple of left hands.
That was one of the better shots that Abdullah Mason has landed all night long. Albert Bell quick to tie him up, but that was a good left hand.
And you can see the crowd jumping up on their feet. They're hanging on every punch from Mason right now.
Mason needed that shot just to change momentum in his favor. The thing about Bell, he does fight upright. He keeps that chin high. He's made a great career doing that. But sooner or later, you're going to get time. You better start bending them knees and start making yourself a smaller target. Okay.
We saw against Sam Noakes in his last fight.
Another idea was to hold a fair lottery before deciding who would die. Those who supported this believed that a random choice would treat everyone equally by giving each person the same chance of surviving or being sacrificed. However, others argued that even a fair process could not justify intentionally taking an innocent life. In their view, whether the person was chosen by chance or not, the act of killing remained morally wrong and deeply disturbing.
That was not a knockdown. In his last fight, Mason showed a great gas tank. He can fight all night, and there he just landed a big shot to Bell, who's holding on.
And this is what Mason needs to do. Just touch anything, punch out anything, make it rough.
Uppercut from Bell. The more aggressive Mason is, the more Bell can hurt him.
Punch with your free hand if you're Mason. You have the crowd behind you. You got momentum going in your favor. This is where you attack. This is where you're the younger champion. Well, he has the luxury of refueling considering he had a good first half of this fight. Piling up rounds, so maybe getting a second win and trying to close out strong, but right now it's not a good look. Now you can see him cocking that right hand again.
Those body shots are starting to add up. Everything is affecting Albert Bell.
Mason hurting Albert Bell to the body, and the crowd knows it. The crowd's sensing it.
As the debate continued, it became clear that the main issue went far beyond the desperate events on the lifeboat. The case challenged everyone to think about important questions involving justice, human rights, personal freedom, and whether one person's life can ever be valued against the lives of others. These difficult questions had no simple answers and became the starting point for examining some of the most important moral and political ideas in history.
See, Albert Bell's pushing that right hand anymore. There's no snap in that punch. And by pushing it, Mason's not going to respect it coming in like he did earlier.
Is that all because of fatigue?
That's because of fatigue, and he lost confidence. Bell lost confidence in that pop.
The body work is paying off.
See, notice how Bell's not even extending that right hand all the way to the end because he wants to come back and block that body shot.
Blood on the white gloves of Abdullah Mason.
Mason should keep jabbing. Right now, Bell's just waiting for the body shots. Keep jabbing your way in.
That's decent from Bell, something. There's another good one. No matter how tired you are in the last round, you usually get a burst of energy, and the energy is coming from Mason. That is a knockdown.
As the conversation became more intense, the focus shifted in a completely different direction. Instead of asking whether survival alone could justify the killing, the class began discussing a new question. Would the situation be morally different if Richard Parker had willingly agreed to sacrifice himself? One student argued that if Parker had knowingly chosen to give up his life so the other three could survive, the act might not be viewed in the same way. This idea challenged everyone to consider
burst from Abdullah Mason out of the corner. Look, he knows he's been in control for the first 4 or 5 rounds of this fight, but he also knows he's probably down on the scorecards for the first 5 or 6 rounds.
And now the opening there for the knockout is there. He caught him with the left hook around the guard because Bell was trying to block and look for body shots. It will be there again. Bell keeps that chin high.
And now you know Bell's just going to try and survive the round. Chris Mannix has the challenger up by a point. Another left on the temple and he goes down. Will they call that a knockdown?
That should be a knockdown, guys.
And they're stopping the fight.
They're stopping it. Oh, my word.
You cannot stop.
You cannot stop it, but guess what? It doesn't matter. Mason was on his way to a big win in his hometown, and still your lightweight champion of the world.
And still the undefeated WBO.
whether a person's voluntary choice could change the moral meaning of an act that would otherwise be considered wrong. The class quickly divided once again. Some believed that genuine consent would make a significant difference. They argued that if Parker freely made the decision without any force or pressure, his death could be seen as an act of self-sacrifice rather than murder, with the surviving sailors simply carrying out his final wish instead of forcing that decision upon him.
Lightweight champion of the world, Abdullah Mason.
Well, Sergio Mason said it was his dream to fight in a world title match here in Cleveland. It looked like it was going to be a nightmare after round 6.
Will's looking down on us from above.
Dad, help me. He's down low.
To your perfect family.
Hope that burn. Rated R.
When Conor McGregor fights, you're witnessing something once in a lifetime.
Surprise, surprise, the king is back.
All my life I want money and power.
Oh! Conor McGregor transcended the sport.
Max Holloway. That's a real warrior.
I'm right here. You're in for a treat.
McGregor versus Holloway, Saturday, July 11th. Free with your subscription. Only at Paramount Plus.